to RPG Book Club, the podcast where we play a little bit of a video game and talk about how it makes us feel. I am Sam Allman.
I am Elias Sailor Eli Warren.
And I'm Maddie Webben.
And today we'll be playing chapters 4 through 6 of Cosmic Star Heroine, entitled Escape, Festivities, and the Heart of Astrea. But before we get to all of that, how's everyone's week?
My week has been a little hectic, because I'm getting ready to get married.
Yeah,
we leave...
I don't understand what would be hectic about that.
Oh, nothing at all. And I mean, especially not because it's out of state. I also did that. Yeah. I still have to find a restaurant where I can get us reservations. I still don't know for certain if 4 people are coming. I have 4 maybes.
There's fucking RSVP, you fucks.
Well, because, I know 2 of them didn't buy tickets back when they were, plane tickets, because they're from Missouri. They didn't buy plane tickets back when they were cheaper, and now they've gone up to, $800, so they're waiting until last minute to see if maybe they suddenly drop the price so that, because the plane's wanting butts in the seats.
Yeah.
So it's going to depend on whether or not that happens, if they can come. So I've got 13 confirmed, and then the other 2 are my parents' neighbors, and I don't I was told when I was asked to send them an invitation that they were potentially considering coming, and I was like, okay, can I get an exact on that? Can I get can you tell me whether they actually are?
I need to tell the chefs how much to cook, so
yeah,
please.
The only people, I've had a couple of my definites RSVP I asked on my invitations. Mm-hmm. And I know that the other definites are definites because I talk to them all the time, and they're like, I'm so excited for your wedding, blah, 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 we're going to be at the beach, and it's going to be super fun. But, most of the people who have RSVP'd are people who aren't coming. So, I mean, thanks for letting me know. I knew you weren't coming. I said specifically on the invitation, I understand that you probably can't make it, but I wanted to send this as a keepsake. So, thanks. It was very considerate of you, but I already knew you weren't coming.
And now it just makes my inbox only say no.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
One's coming to my wedding.
Yeah, bunch of no's, and it's just... It's a little discouraging, but at the same time, it's all people who I knew weren't going to be able to make it.
And really, having had a wedding in which 80 of our friends showed up, it would have been much better if it was just me and Summer. Not even our parents, just me and Summer, and then the priest counts as our witness. That's all we needed.
Yeah.
But
so I've got to find a restaurant to make reservations at for up to 17 people.
Yeah.
Eli, would you mind a teeny bit of advice?
Yes, go on.
At this point, I think it's totally fair, and nobody would be upset if you went to those people and were like, "Look, I want you at my wedding. I'm glad that you're planning on coming. I cannot actually plan on you being there if you can't tell me you're being there. So, book the restaurant for not them. And if they come, they just can't go to the restaurant, and that's fine. That's how it is."
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't like doing that to people.
Yeah, but I don't know. They understand. It's them's the rules. If you RSVP, you go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
I do some of that at my wedding.
What happened to me at my wedding, similar RSVP nightmare, except in the opposite direction, because I forget how many people actually like us. So we sent invitations to exactly 40 people, and we were like, yeah, and you can bring a +1 if you need to, figuring that the rule for when you send out wedding invitations is if you send out 100, you'll get back 60 of people coming, tops.
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to come to your wedding. Every single person said yes, and every single person RSVP'd with a +1. So we had 80 people at our tiny... We were aiming for a tiny wedding. That's why we had only put out 40 of our closest friends on both sides. Because both of us have giant families, so most of it was family people anyways. And so it was just like, yeah, a super small 40, and we got 80 people showing up. So
if you don't, I did for my wedding. For my wedding, me and my fiance, like, dead ass, like, we didn't just use like percentages like you're saying. Although it makes sense because there's some family members that were very weird. We went through every single list and did like power mapping of them. Basically, we're like, okay, this person, what's the likelihood this person's coming? What's the likelihood that this person's coming? And we just did it based on a personal relationship. I'm like, this person's coming, this person's coming, this person's not, but they're definitely going to send a good registry gift. This person's not coming. This person is going to want to come, but I don't know if they'll be able to, pragmatically speaking. This person's coming, and we were able to predict with pretty shocking accuracy just by thinking about, like, who is this person? How do they feel about me? You know what I mean? Like, is it a lot of these are friends of my parents. Do they, whenever I'm at home, are they always wanting to know what's going on with my life? Are they very invested in my life, or am I just their friend's kid? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were able to get a pretty accurate estimate. I don't remember how off our estimate was, but it wasn't really.
Nice.
Yeah. I knew that there wouldn't be a ton of people coming. Like, I ordered 40 invitations, and I haven't sent all of them out to everybody. Like, or I have sent them out to everybody I wanted to send them to, but I still have invitations left. Mm-hmm. But I knew that there would be a relatively small percentage of people who would be able to make it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
Wait,
I just wish people would follow instructions.
Right?
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's not that hard. Like, even the people who RSVP in person because they're your friends, like, still, like, no, RSVP on the fucking thing. It's not that hard. Jesus. You know what you need to do? This is time for some self-care, okay? Eli, I think you need to cut all those toxic people out of your life. And when I say toxic people, I mean redefine the term toxic people to be every person. It's just easier that way.
Yeah, I guess.
Just kidding. It's like just go to your mom and be like, I'm sorry, I'm cutting all these toxic people out of my life, and it's like, well, what did I do?
Yeah, well, and I have a registry set up too, but like, I fucking hate asking for things, so like, I posted it on Facebook really late at night when I hoped no one would see it.
That's not how you do registries. You're like, it's my special day.
The whole point of registries, of registry is you don't have to ask people for. You're not actually asking, give me a present. You're just like, there's a link on the bottom that you can click on if you want to, and it has the things I want, but I'm not asking for them. They're just there.
Yeah.
But it feels like I'm asking for them, especially if I'm like.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Especially if I'm like sending it out to people. Like, I don't know. I feel so.
Send it out to the doctor. Well, in your case, you have several. You can send it out to the doctor that gave birth to you, the physical entity, and gave birth to Elias. You have multiple doctors that you can send it out to. Be like, you mean so much to me. Here's my wedding registry.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing about wedding invitations. It's like invitations. It's like a game. You're like min-maxing. You're trying to max your registry presence and min actual attendees.
Yes.
So when you're sending to people, you're like, ooh, I just thought of a real good person. They'll definitely give me a gift, and they're definitely not going to come, so it's safe. Let's send it to them. But then, of course, it turns out they are coming, and you're like, fuck.
And they have a family of 6.
Yeah, it's like a little bet you have to place a little bet. Of course, there's also a third factor, which is like, what if this person legitimately has such little connection to me that they see through my game and know I'm just trying to fish for wedding presents, and then I'm exposed as a jerk ass. But it's a gamble.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could have sworn that today was last Tuesday. I don't even remember what happened at work. Actually, no, I remember what happened yesterday at work, and I'll talk about that in vague terms. So, yesterday, the audio broke on our main tool, which normally you would think, well, it's just audio.
That sounds bad.
What can it do? But it makes all of the notifications not have like sound, so they just pop up in the little notification area. So me being a slacker, while we're not very busy this time of year, so I normally just sit there for like 8 straight hours and barely get anything. that would mean I would have to watch the notification area for 8 straight hours, and I didn't want to do that. And so Summer texted me, was like, yeah, Scarlett tripped and busted her cheek open, and she's fine though. But I ignored the she's fine and told my boss that I needed to go home to make sure she was okay, because I was worried about her, because I couldn't possibly just stare at a 3-inch real estate of screen for the whole day. My ADD would not let me do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that was the most exciting thing that happened to me this week. Oh, besides I beat Mega Man Battle Network. I started it literally the day we recorded last week, and I beat it yesterday. So it's pretty great. Everyone should play that game.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you, Robo Maddie?
I just worked like 16 bazillion trillion hours. That's me. Exciting. Very fun. Very cool.
Yeah. So, before we...
Also, I'm like one step away from unraveling the Epstein case. I'll just wait. I'll figure it out, and I'll report back.
Good. So, before we listen to some awesome music and talk about an interesting set of chapters that I apparently did not have the same experience with that everyone else did, so you're in for a good episode. But before we do that, since this game is only 4 episodes long, just like Sailor Moon last year, it means it is now time to unveil our next block of what we're playing.
Yeah, bitch.
So our new theme is Xbox exclusives.
Yes, my dream.
So we are playing either Lost Odyssey for the Xbox 360, which is a Mistwalker Studio joint. Let me be completely and totally transparent. We worked really, really hard on finding 2 games that we are equally as excited to talk about. That being said, all 3 of us really want you to pick Lost Odyssey because it's made by the developers of Legend of Dragoon, my favorite game, Final Fantasy VI, Eli's favorite game, Phantom Dust, Maddie's favorite game, and also Shadow Hearts, which is Rizzo's favorite game, even though he's not here. But it's literally a game made for this podcast. But
also, from a pod standpoint, it might as well be Final Fantasy X-2.
Yeah.
And by that I mean design-wise, not the literal Final Fantasy X-2.
Yeah. And the other game that we have up is The Last Remnant, which is also great. It is by the people who do Saga, and they have like a turn-based meets like army-style weird, interesting, cool thing, which is the stuff that we like a lot here. And it's same huge epic story, so it matches on like every single beat to Lost Odyssey. But you should vote for Lost Odyssey.
Also, we forgot to mention Lost Odyssey is friend of the show Bernard Hauk, who was here for all of last season. Mm. It's his favorite video game of all time. Yeah,
and he votes, so we got one.
And I vote.
Yeah.
But yeah. I actually would be completely chill with either. Honestly, I'm definitely excited about Last Remnant. Lost Odyssey, it's great. It's brilliant. I would love to replay it. I've had a hankering to replay it for a while, but also for me, I've played it, so I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas Last Remnant, right now, I think my mood might be like, ooh, new game that might suck. That's fun. That's exciting and new. But yeah, now I vote with your heart.
Yeah.
Lost Odyssey is an incredible game. Last Remnant is probably weird as hell.
Yeah, they're both good, and we both would be happy with either of them because I already have a copy of Lost Odyssey for Eli, and Last Remnant's on Switch now. So,
hey, remember when I really wanted everyone to vote for goddamn Dragon Quest V, and then we had to play Xenogears?
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but that's why we tried really hard to find one that matched it, and we didn't try and stack the deck and be like, oh, it's Lost Odyssey versus Sneak King or something. But
Sam, that I would have voted for Sneak King.
Exactly, that would have happened, and we would have put in
been unfair.
some joke answer, and everyone would have voted for the opposite one. So, yeah, that we tried to make it where we would be fine with either one, but Lost Odyssey. Lost Odyssey looks great.
Snake King is probably the greatest RPG of our generation. I don't know.
Snake King proved to Roger Ebert played it and said, "Wow, I guess games are art." R.I.P. buddy.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Let's listen to some kick-ass Hyperduck Soundworks featuring I forgot her name music. Nope, doesn't say. So yeah, some Hyperduck Soundworks featuring a artist that is awesome, and it's credited somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so I will apologize for not knowing your name.
Sorry, singing lady.
Sorry, singing lady, but your song is awesome, and we're going to play it right now. Eli, take it away.
All right, so we start outside of the evil lair, and we head to a place called Gehenna. Apparently, it's a horrible place to live, but an excellent place to lay low.
Reference.
What reference?
Overt biblical reference.
Cool. I'm sure you said something that I would have understood if you
It's
were
Bible.
Bible reference.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I thought that sounded familiar, but I wasn't sure. So Chan tells us that she has a friend who sings at a nightclub, who might be able to help us. I found it funny that Alyssa says lead the way, but she's still in front.
Yep.
What were you doing, game designers? What were they thinking?
Literally unplayable.
Yep, I can't do it.
Wait, what part are you talking about?
Cooled out of my immersion super bad, so had to turn it off.
What are you talking about?
And that's it for the week. Anyway, something got blowed up, and I guess we have to find out who did it. So I headed over to someone and paid 600 credits for info, which is fine because I've got like 1 million credits now. Yeah. I don't know how many credits you get on harder difficulties, but on super easy mode, I have a lot.
Yeah. I have a decent amount. I have like tens of thousands, but I don't have easy mode credits. Easy credits are crazy.
I had early in the chapter last week's play, I had to ration my credits pretty well because I'm playing on hard, and I had like sometimes I get to the store, I wouldn't be able to quite buy everything. I'd have to think about it, maybe come back later, or just like not buy one thing. Although this chapter, the 2 times there were things to buy, I didn't have. Can easy mode money be the new fuck you money?
Yeah.
I didn't have easy mode money, but I did have enough to buy everything I needed. So,
yeah.
Oh, Sam, or Eli, I cut out for a second. I was switching my audio source, or I was switching my stuff. What part that was unplayable?
Because Alyssa tells Chan to lead the way, but Alyssa's still the one in front.
Yeah. It was a joke.
Yeah.
It was
gotcha.
It was indeed a joke.
I was like, wait, was this some minigame that I missed or something?
No. No, it was a bad joke. So it turns out that the Agency of Peace and Intelligence has sent an assassin after us named Slab Bulkhead. Oh, sorry, Fridge Large Meat. Buff Drink Lots. Bob Johnson. Jack's Blaster Fist.
Which one of those was real?
Did no one get that reference?
No.
Oh my god, watch the Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode of Space Mutiny.
Okay, I should.
It's so fucking good. There's to explain the joke, because it's going to come up again.
Hell yeah.
There's a character in that movie that they're watching he's like a big beefy male lead, and they just keep calling him by all these different names. Like every time he shows up, they call him by a different name, and it's called like the 9 billion names of David Ryder.
Oh well.
So yeah, it's a really, really funny gag.
I wish I would have caught it. That would have been great.
Yeah, I wish
sure
you too.
It was still funny, even though I didn't get what the deal was. So hold on. So was one of them his actual name or no?
Jax Blasterfist is.
Okay, because I definitely don't remember.
Like, I saw his name and I was immediately like, oh my god, this is a perfect chance to insert some MST3K humor.
Right.
Nice. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish you would have got it.
The best part is any one of those names, I would have just believed you was his name. Because...
Yeah, no, when you first said it, I didn't think it was a joke. I was like, oh, wow, that's a dumb name.
And then when you finally landed on Jack's Blasterfist, I'm like, that one's ridiculous. What's his real name?
So we meet a woman in this homeless shelter. Well, I was doing some exploring, and I met a woman in a homeless shelter. She asked for 3,000 credits because she wants to open a shop. So I gave her the money because I was like, maybe this will pay off later. But I might have just been fleeced. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember if I gave her the money. I know I wanted to, but I don't remember if I had enough or not.
Yeah, I might not have had enough.
Yeah, I see it as doing good recklessly. So that's what happened.
That's what you do when you have easy mode money.
Yeah, exactly. Very recklessly. So in some like alleyway, we find some guy who's called a bagman and decide that he apparently must have blown up the thing. But the police, for some reason, don't believe us. I mean, we used all the logic and reason available to us, like seeing a guy called a bagman and knowing that they blow stuff up.
Yeah.
But they're still gonna take away this supposedly innocent man. So, whatever. Moving on.
Yeah.
So Sue leaves us, and the rest of us head into the nightclub. Oh yeah, it's Alyssa, Sean, Dave, and Sue. So yeah, Sue fucks off.
For like literally no reason.
Yeah,
he says, "I need to take care of a thing," and then when he comes back, he doesn't even say what the thing was. He just is like, "I'm back because it's a new chapter now."
It's like Rio Gladio and FF15 hours. He literally is just like, bye.
Yeah. Well, I've got other shit to do.
Right.
So we go into the nightclub, and we get ushered into the VIP room because Sean is Lauren's friend. Lauren is the concert lady. And then we watch Lauren's concert cutscene, which is the exact same song playing in the club.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why we needed the cutscene. But during the cutscene, oh no, there's a police raid!
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh no!
I actually really liked this cutscene a lot. It was
pretty cool.
Yeah, because like it still has the weird art bullshit that the whole game has, but I don't know. I think it's growing on me for how weird and dumb it is. Like, I still think it's an improper choice, but it being weird and bad is making me like it at just like platforming and Xenogears being weird and bad.
Did you notice a funny little graphical thing here where like during the thing it's they did a lot of work. They actually lip synced the singing to the song, which is really crazy for anime. But the funny thing is, so it kept cutting between a bunch of different clips, camera shots, kind of, where it's like a shot of the girl singing, a shot of the keyboardist keyboarding, a shot of the bassist bassisting, a shot of the drummers drumming. None of the other ones are synced to the music. Just because they're clearly reusing shots, which is like fine. Like, I'm not wanting you to animate an entire 3-minute long concert. I'm not like 0% judging. It's actually the other way around. I'm very impressed that so basically you're like seeing the same little 2-second shot of the drummer drumming that you've already seen 3 times. It just keeps cutting back to it. But then every time it cuts to the singer, it actually is lip synced.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. The drummer's not hitting his drums on beat, and the bassist isn't bassisting on beat, but the singer is singing the actual words. It was cool.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the song's the bop. On mine, I don't know if it's a Vita thing, but it sounded really low quality. I don't know if it sounded like that to you guys.
It sounded good.
I think I recall it sounding excellent.
Okay,
yeah.
So it might just be a Vita thing, compression for space issues and stuff, but...
That would be my guess.
That's space issues. That's what they should have called this game.
It was an interesting mix of Japanese and English, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But,
the police come in, and Lauren joins our party. She's got a bunch of abilities that are very selfish. She actually steals style from party members.
That ability owns.
Yeah, I like her shtick.
She gets drunk.
Maybe it's because I'm playing on easy mode, or maybe it's because I just don't understand the stats in this game, but, like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But thankfully I don't have to know what the hell I'm doing, which is great. I don't really have to learn.
Yeah, the battle system is actually, like, really, really fun, and I think you'd have fun with it, but you're planning for a wedding, so our sessions are totally doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know what the stats do. I just know that as your style gets higher, so do your damage numbers. And I know that when your hypermeter is maxed out, you go Super Saiyan. So
yeah, I knew about utilizing the hypermeter properly.
Yeah,
and things like that.
But every other, like, so this game does something that I'm just going to come out and say that I don't like, and I did not like it in Xenoblade, and I do not like it here. Call your attack stat attack or strength. Call your defense stat defense or whatever. Like these, it's not. It's basically space funeraling itself with like the moral status and stuff. It's like you have hackitude and gumption or whatever, and it's
like what the fuck does any of that mean?
Yeah, like
I actually don't mind. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with the general concept of what you're saying, but I extremely agree specifically on hackitude, because hackitude is like, that's a stupid joke. It's not funny. If you're gonna call it that, call it hacking skills.
Yeah.
I hate it. Why are you making? Just take, as we'll probably address later, take your goddamn self seriously.
Yep. It's coming.
What are the other ones? Insight.
Well, it's a weird tonal thing because like the game wants you to take it seriously, but then it also, like, clearly doesn't want you to take it seriously, and it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Let's see, what are the stats? They are physique, hackitude, spark, with an E on the end.
Yeah, what the fuck is
cunning.
spark?
Yeah.
I guess most of those aren't too bad. Cunning is obviously no, cunning isn't like intelligence. Cunning is basically speed.
Yeah.
Physique. Spark's the main one. It's like, what the fuck is spark? Come on.
Yeah. It doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Real quick, I just noticed, because I have the Let's Play from Hero of Light, who we've been linking in the show notes. I have that running in the background, and the hi-hats for the drummer are levitating. They have jetpacks. Because it's the future, because why the fuck not? Who needs a stand when you can just give your cymbals a jetpack?
All right. That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
That's so good. Okay, continue.
So we fight the police, and then we head back to Lauren's apartment, and we run into Rip Steakface. Smoke Man Muscle. Shit, Jack's Blaster Fist. I keep forgetting his name. I can't understand it. And I appreciate all you MST3K fans, probably all one of you, who got those jokes.
Real heads know.
Right.
Yes. But yeah, so we fight Jack's Blaster Fist, and thankfully I'm playing on Weenie Hut Jr. mode, so he was a piece of cake. There, you got that joke.
Of course, we're SpongeBob. I've as an aside, and this will probably be me posting cringe and losing subscribers, but I don't like the whole Mystery Science Theater shtick. Like, I don't want to watch other people watch movies.
That's fair.
There's like 5 different brands of that out there now, and they apparently are super popular, and everybody loves them, and they reference them just as much as other pop culture. And I understand that people like it, but I can't be shitted to try it.
I grew up watching MST3K because it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, and so like I'm super into it because of that. It's nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
I'm down for it, especially because some of the movies that they watch, Sam, I think you're missing something. Some of the movies that they watch on that would be unwatchable if you didn't have somebody making jokes about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I understand if you don't want to do riff tracks, because riff tracks often go, like, we have one for the Avengers. It's funny, but it's still like, if I want to watch the Avengers, I want to watch the Avengers. Yeah. And, like, there are some movies where it's like, I'd rather, like, if, like, this is a bad movie, but I'd rather sit around with my friends and riff on it than watch other people do it. But yeah, most of the movies that they watch are just so bad, and it's I couldn't watch this. I have a
high tolerance for bad media, but for some of those movies, it's like, no, I would turn the movie off half. I would not make it through the entire movie. Yeah, if I wasn't watching a riff of it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Those are my favorite ones.
So, like, it just reminds me of this time at an anime convention. They had the anime convention was Hentai After Dark, and it was people with microphones doing like riff tracks on a hentai and a group of people. And that
sounds like something I would never want to go to.
I was way too interested in like the story of it, because they, like, of course for hentai you want one with a story so that you can riff on the story, because it's usually bad. But this one was like a space station, and there was a monster, which of course had tentacles, but there was like a monster like breaking through, and there was like intrigue and everything, and I'm like, shut up, I'm trying to pay attention to the plot. And I'm like, something's wrong with me, I should just go home. Why am I complaining about the plot in a hentai in front of people?
Yeah.
I'm a special case, but I just want everyone to remember that I'm married and I have kids, so somehow it all worked out for me.
Yeah. Space Mutiny is worth watching, I'd say. It's one of the best episodes. Anyway,
maybe I will give it a try because you love it so much, and I care about you and your taste.
Can that be a movie night?
Actually, yeah, it's Space Mutiny. Let's do that. Let's do MS3K Space Mutiny will be our movie night. Because I was about to ask in the Discord after this what our movie night should be, but there we go. We'll be watching that this week.
I'm so fucking hyped.
In 3 weeks.
Yes. Well, okay, remember I'm going to be gone Monday the 2nd? Yes. I'm going to be gone on the 2nd and 3rd because I'll be at my wedding.
Okay, cool.
We'll figure it out.
So,
we'll do some
bonus episode or
that
something.
week. But...
Yes. Okay, great. Cool. So, at Lauren's apartment, we have dinner and explain the situation to Lauren, that we are carrying a mind control device. She tells us that she was involved with Astrea and that they might help us. And Alyssa has an "Are we the bad guys?" moment regarding the API. Again, that's the Agency of Peace and Intelligence. Which is like totally not a bad guy evil name.
Yeah.
So, oh, I lost my place. Sorry. Okay, so we have to head to the French Plaza. Oh, I'm sorry, the Freedom Plaza the next morning.
Now that is actually a deep cut. Only real heads remember when America was fucking stupid from like 2001 through 2003.
There is a restaurant in Martins Ferry, Ohio, where my grandma used to live, that still has Freedom fries on their fucking menu. And
I explain that to my students, and they're like, what the fuck? Because most of my students were born after 9/11, so when I explain the Freedom Fries thing, they're like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So there was an optional dungeon at the end of that chapter?
Oh, there was like I wouldn't call it a dungeon. There was like a
like
warehouse that you could go into that had a bunch of rats. Yeah.
That's where the Let's Play went in there, and I never found it. I was like, what the heck are these mobs?
I forget what equipment's in there, but it's like some good shit.
I'm in space now, so no going back.
Oh well.
Yeah,
darn linear
I went
game.
in there by accident because I was just trying to find the right place to go. And it turned out there was stuff. So, plus I had all the time in the world because, again, Weenie Hut Junior mode. I am a goofy goober, etc., etc. So,
I think you want that difficulty setting.
why do we keep... Oh, okay, so in my notes, I wrote, why do we keep getting world map sections? What is the point of this? Like, there really is no point to this quote-unquote world map where you're, like, zoomed out slightly.
They just want to reference...
Vestigial.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Great. So, Alyssa says that she's going to go into the Freedom Plaza alone, so they're less likely to attract attention, and the others will the others will secure the area. In the center of the plaza is a weird tentacle statue that in no way looks weird. Evil. Yeah.
And
even the NPCs comment on it.
Yeah, all of them around it are like, I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Doesn't it kind of look like Nakatomi Plaza on fire? And I'm like, kinda.
I guess I need to watch Die Hard eventually.
I still haven't seen it. I just can never remember Skybreaker
Are y'all
Tower.
joking with me right now?
No.
I know it's
and
a total,
this is
like,
the reason
normie...
I don't want to watch Die Hard, because people freak out when I say I haven't seen Die Hard.
Out. I was actually more freaking out that both of you haven't watched it, specifically Sam, who references it constantly.
I reference it by way of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but also I've seen Live Free or Die Hard, which is one of my favorite action movies. So
I did see one of the Die Hard movies. I think it was like the third or something, because it was for one of our like team events at work. And all of the Die Hard references I know are from Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, nice. Bob's Burgers has a lot.
Yeah, Die Hard, I know. It's like a total normie opinion. It's like Die Hard is like your favorite movie. It's like your favorite movie of all time if you're like 1% not normie.
Yeah,
like you're just enough not normie to know that you should have an interesting favorite movie, but not enough to have anything more interesting than Die Hard. However, Die Hard is actually a fantastic movie. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really is that good.
Yeah, Live Free or Die Hard #4 with Justin Long and Timothy Olyphant in it is one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. So I do not doubt that the rest of them are good. I just haven't gotten around to watching them.
That might have been the one I saw. I don't remember.
It also has Kevin Smith in it, but that's not the reason I like it.
Okay, cool.
Sure it isn't, Sam.
No, the reason I like it is he blows up a helicopter with a car, and Justin Long is like, you just blew up a helicopter with a car, and Bruce Willis is like, I ran out of bullets. It's my favorite action movie one-liner in the whole world, so... Yeah.
I think that may actually be the one I saw then, because I do remember a car blowing up a helicopter.
Yeah, because the helicopter had just previously flown through a tunnel, even though its propeller blades are clearly wider than the width of the tunnel.
Yeah. It's action movies. You don't question that. All right, now we're watching Die Hard for our movie night.
We've got 2 movies. Vote on the movie.
Yeah.
So the weird tentacle statue apparently represents the pillars of Arenu life, which is stability, unity, and freedom. Totally not the bad guys, everyone.
Yep.
Yep. Normal thing to say.
Yep. One guy patrolling we run into is a distant cousin of Alyssa's named Finn. Mm-hmm. Guess he doesn't know we're on the lam from the police.
And I love Finn so much because his whole shtick is that he's a shitty cop, and they just lean hard onto it. He's the tank, but he's not the tank because he's big and strong. All of his tank moves are be annoying, and it annoys the mobs into hitting you instead of being the tank.
But yeah, no, he's just like, hey, it's like, presumably there's like, his orders are like, find this girl, right? Like, watch out for this girl. But he sees his cousin, he's just like, hey, cousin, what's up? Hey, Nico, my cousin.
I had to make the same joke.
Let's go bowling. Big Iranian titties.
One thing to remember is that the Freedom Festival lasts all year long, which is definitely something that doesn't mean you're living in a dystopia.
Again, super normal. This is a normal society.
They have the freedom
regular time.
They have the freedom to decide which hand their sex monitoring chip is implanted into. Yeah. And if they don't want to pay their taxes, they have the freedom to spend a weekend with the pain monster.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's several mini games around this area, and I did go ahead and complete them all. One of them like there's one that's like the cup and ball thing where you have to guess which one the thing is under. I'm pretty sure that's just impossible to complete. Like everyone I chose, too. I kept doing it for like 10 minutes, and it just kept saying, sorry, wrong one, sorry, wrong one. And like I kept choosing the same one over and over and over and over, and nothing.
The NPC
says it's rigged, yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe the NPC was just bad at the game.
No, I agree. I was thinking maybe there's like a trick to it. Like maybe if you talk to another NPC, they tell you the secret or something. But yeah, I think that's just a joke. I think it's just impossible.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there's another one, another mini game here that is it's impossible if you're Sam Allman. So it is a scavenger hunt, and you have to go and find all of the little bits, and they're hidden pretty thoroughly, and some of them you don't like see on the map. You have to like talk to everybody, and then one of the person will give it to you. It's actually a really well made scavenger hunt, except scavenger hunts like as a thing that exists means look everywhere. So if you're walking up towards the top of the screen and you look in this alleyway, and then it shumps you onto the rest of your gameplay for the week, and you don't get to finish the scavenger hunt, you get real sad. And so I was prepared to park and like just spend like 4 hours on these mini games, because why not? And I didn't get to do any of that because I was looking for a little shiny piece, and I walked off screen.
You were looking for love in all the wrong places.
I was.
The guy who normally skips that shit did them all.
Yeah, I'm sure I would have been shunted into the cutscene as well if Sam hadn't warned me about it. And I was like, okay, not only am I not going to go up there, but I'm also going to make sure I save a lot in this place,
just in case.
But yeah, it was a fun scavenger hunt. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. We got a leader satchel for it, which is a Alyssa thing, and then we also got a staff for the rock paper scissors game. Rock paper scissors I almost got on the first try. I missed one of them, and then I was like, let me just look this up.
Oh my god, actually I want to explain this real quick because y'all will laugh at how stupid I am. Okay, so
is this going to be explaining rock paper scissors for 30 minutes like you did on our unrecorded episode of Xenogears?
So the way that this works is they tell you, it's not really rock paper scissors. It's actually a logic game. So you have to win 8 rounds in a row, but the person gives you hints. So they're like, I'm always going to do this. I'm always going to throw the same symbol on the first and fourth rounds, and the second and third rounds. And I actually remember all the rules. And the one on the 5th round beats the one from the first round. And 5 and 7 are the same, and I'm gonna throw paper less than I throw rock and scissors, blah blah blah, right? Mm-hmm. So I whip out my phone. I'm like, hell yeah, I was born for this. So I whip out my phone and I'm logicking it, and I actually get it on the first try. I'm like, okay, you're gonna do like, something like rock, scissors, rock, paper, scissors, or something like that. And I write it down, and then I play them. And I enter those, and it's wrong.
Because you entered them, and not what beats them.
Exactly. Yeah. Here's the thing. It took me forever to figure this out. I was like, where's the flaw in my logic? So I'm writing down all the clues again, thinking, maybe the clues can be interpreted 2 distinct ways. Maybe the way that I wrote it fits the clues, but it's only one possible way to fit the clues. Maybe there's a different way to fit the clues. And the more I pick it apart, the more I'm like, no, this has to be it. And then I'm like, oh, right. This is what they're doing. I have to beat them. I'm stupid. So basically, I was able to solve a somewhat complex logic puzzle, but I was not able to remember the basic rules of rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Well, I feel better, because like I said, I just missed one of them, and I was too tired to like try and figure out which one of the one that I missed, and I knew it was like either 6 or 8, and it turns out I missed number 6. So I just had to fix that.
6 is interesting. There's no clues about it, except that you just figure it's got to be paper.
Yeah. So after the mini games, we head into that alleyway that Sam got trapped in, and we run into Steel. And oh shit, they got Dave. I actually, so the way he said, sorry, Alyssa, I thought maybe he turned us in.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. And I actually was like, yelled at the screen because I was so upset, but like in a good way. I was like, no, what a great twist, betrayed. But turns out that's not what happened.
That's not what happened. No.
I'm glad y'all responded that way too.
I would have really liked if Dave had betrayed us, honestly.
It would have been a good twist. It would have been very upsetting, and I would have hated it.
Yeah, especially because Dave was the one that found out everything, and so it would have been a really interesting like character study of somebody that looks at all of the shit and is like, this is horrible, but it's better than free will or whatever. Like, like that leap of villain logic would have been a really interesting thing to happen to a party member, but no.
And giving this game being the way it is, they could have swung it as like a Xenogears reference, because the guy kind of, you could think of as being kind of like Saitan.
Yeah,
that's true.
Oh, referencing Xenogears.
Saitan was confusing.
Yeah, spoiler alert for Xenogears.
So,
but also, who gives a shit?
Sean contacts us and says she's with Astrea. They have everything under control and to just play along with whatever the API wants. Steele says he'll spare my friends if I act as a martyr. So essentially, they're going to have Alyssa go up and
say how much she loves the API and then get assassinated.
Murdered.
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool on the bad guy's part. It's like, we're not going to assassinate a traitor. We're going to assassinate a hero as a what do you even call that? A psyop. It's basically the Protoman Act 2, the father of death.
Yes. Protoman is so good. Eli, you should just go listen to both Protoman albums after this. You'd actually really like it. Make sure you have the lyrics up, because the lyrics include stage directions that you don't get to hear while you're
gotcha. Okay.
Anywho, continue.
Yes. So it turns out the sniper is Echo, the chick who hates us. But Lauren comes up and smacks Echo and causes her to miss. And then apparently Chon managed to rescue Dave. Now some alien guy named Zuxorv is trying to collect a bounty on Alyssa.
That guy's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty neat. So we defeat him with Finn and Lauren, and he runs off after a more lucrative target. And then we get a cutscene featuring Giant Master Chief. And then... Did I upset you?
No. This is the part. Okay, so I'm going to take over for a hot second. So
sure.
Please do. I want to hear your read on this.
So this is an elaborate Halo 2 reference, besides the fact that it looks like Master Chief. It's actually not, but it's really cool because this dungeon is also this boss. So you're climbing up this robot using the office buildings next to you, of course. But you're climbing up this robot, going through dungeon things, and then you come out and you have a boss fight. And then you keep climbing up, and then you come out and you have a boss fight. And it's really, really cool, and it heightens up the drama in a really cool way, and then it's super awesome. And then out at the top comes the first boss of the game, and you get to fight him again. And you're like, wow, this is super cool. And then Alyssa jumps in the robot and is like, oh, he left the parking brake on. That's why this was so easy. Instead of it being this really cool dungeon and you earned it because you're superheroes. No, he had the parking brake on so that it could be a joke. So that then you could have a fight in which you do 10,000 damage per turn and the bad guy does 1 damage per turn. So it's a fake fight in a giant robot for the fun of it, for a joke, because they wanted to have an elaborate Power Rangers / Voltron reference here. And it was leading up to be my memorable moment for a good way, and it ended up a memorable moment for a bad way at the end. And
great.
I loved the dungeon and the boss fight. I hated the rest of it.
They blew it.
That makes sense. When I got to that joke, I didn't have that reaction. I mostly was just like groaned and was like, uh-huh. I didn't think, oh, right, this also undermines all the drama that just happened. But yeah, no, you're totally right. It totally does. Yeah,
and
that's dumb as hell.
That's more of that tone problem that the game has, where it wants you to take it seriously, but then it doesn't want you to take it seriously, and it's like, make up your mind.
Yeah, I literally had my Vita at work, and it said, oh, he just left the parking brake on, and I did the thing where like you drop it in one hand and you like look at the camera like you're on The Office, and you just like you can't even like
Yep.
yeah, and like it made me so upset. But prior to that, the dungeon was good. So on your next game, whatever it is, Zaboid, because I know you're listening, your next game, believe in yourself and do the cool gameplay stuff that you have, and know that we're going to like it. Like, trust it, believe in yourself. You make good video games. This game is great. You don't have to take the piss out of it. You're actually the most beautiful boy at the ball. You don't have to have a good sense of humor for the people to like you. Okay, I got that off my chest.
So, the alien guy, Zixorv, actually shows up again, and it turns out the bounty was on Zaboid.
That's his name now. Let's call him Zaboid because because of the developers of the game.
Yes. Sure. So Zaboid shows up, and it turns out that this bounty was on Giant Master Chief. So he decides to join us. Finn protests, but it turns out this guy is from a race of aliens called Zexus that don't lie. But what if we found the one who does lie? I don't know.
We know we're going to be okay because of racial profiling.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I just noticed while watching the LP, Zixorv, with his victory stance, is he summons like pillars of blood, and it like drops in reverse into portals above his head. He's cool as shit.
Yeah, everything about him is like super like heavy metal, like extra. It's really cool.
Yeah. So the guy who was in Master Chief is named Groff. He says that his pet will grow to city-sized proportions, so we enter the mech. And then I have turns out the dude had the parking brake on. Why a giant mech has a parking brake, I'll never know, but whatever.
In case you need to park it.
Yeah, so we fight this giant frog called a blob myth. Okay, and we kill it. And then once Alyssa got in the mech, apparently Zaboid ran off. So then we head to the water filtration system and go into the sub-basement, where a sub is conveniently waiting for us.
Oh, yeah.
And the leaders of Astrea are waiting for us in the command room. We see a cutscene where we meet White Lady Geordie LaForge, a.k.a. Arete, or Arete. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
I did Arete as well.
Cool. Arete.
Arete.
Arete Franklin.
Arete Franklin. She wants you to RESPECT.
Yeah.
Find out what it means to.
She does not want you to RESPECT the police.
Yes, that is correct.
She just wants you to RSVP Eli's wedding.
That's called a callback. Folks.
Yes. So anyway, Sean and Dave are there. Sue shows up, and apparently he called in favors with friends in Gehenna. So I guess that's what he went off to do.
Yeah.
But one of them ratted him out to the API.
Of course.
So he gives us a heroine shield, which lets us do link texts with teammates. I'm assuming it's made of pure opium, considering the link texts have some very potent effects, and I just realized I pronounced heroin wrong for that joke. So
that's fine.
Because I have a tendency to say heroin.
That's fine.
Because it sounds better than calling it heroin to me.
Yeah.
My mom always said Shiro, which I also prefer, but that's never caught on in the widestream culture.
Nope.
So
junk.
Yes. So there's an unusual amount of activity. There's a force wall around this ship called the Leviathan, and this there's an unusual amount of activity outside of it. So Lauren, Sue, and Sean all go to check on the barrier activity, and then we talk about the mind control device. It was apparently developed during the Great War as the ultimate weapon. Some researchers realized it's bad, actually, and sabotaged the lab. So Arete sent a group to retrieve the device and was contacted by the connoisseur named Enzo, who has a counter device.
Yeah. Lots of exposition in this chapter.
Yes, super exposition heavy. So we go to rest, and Alyssa says she's going to stay up and check the news for API activity. So we see a cut scene where she's watching the news. There's a story about terrorists attacking the Freedom Festival, and they confirm that Alyssa is dead. And just in case you didn't read it, they do a close-up on the words Alyssa LaSalle and confirmed dead.
So I actually really liked this part because, so it did this thing that, like, if you're going to break your own rules of pixel art, this is the way to do it, and I liked it a whole lot. So the narrator is the one talking because she's watching the TV, and so it doesn't have a text box, and it's just white text on the screen, but it's as if there were a text box. You've seen it in a million of JRPGs, how the narrator talks. So then when it says Alyssa LaSalle is dead, it zooms in on the text box. So it's like, it doesn't zoom in on the screen or a newspaper or anything. It breaks the fourth wall in a good way and zooms in on the text box and it just so lines up where it's like Alyssa LaSalle dead. And it's like, that's actually,
cute. That's
a really cool way to break your pixel art rules.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
So Alyssa wakes Dave and Finn up. So I wrote, due to an alarm that we can only hear by using our imaginations, but I found out that this may have actually been an alarm because my sound kept cutting out, my background music kept cutting out anytime I would tab out. Not every time, but sometimes. And I was tabbing out a lot because I was keeping notes on a notepad in my computer.
So let me see, because I have the Let's Play open.
I don't recall if an alarm played or not. I will say, as far as audio glitches go, I only experienced, this is a very, for me, very well programmed game. I only encountered one audio glitch.
There's no alarm going. It is just the red lights everywhere.
Great. So my joke held up. We can only hear it with our imaginations.
Nice. It's a visual alarm. They don't want to alarm people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's an ASL alarm.
Yes.
So then Echo shows up after we fight some bad guys, and then we fight her. We beat her, and then she gloats about how Astrea isn't a match for Steel's command ship. They were going to take prisoners, but instead they're just going to blow us up. Oops.
Oops, all blown up.
Oops, all blown up. So we return to Arete, who says they received a transmission from Steel about bombing the Leviathan every 5 minutes until we either surrender or just die. Which made me think of the Futurama joke where the Omicronians say that they're going to increase the temperature of the planet by 1 million degrees every few seconds.
Yep.
So, Finn freaks out.
Mm-hmm. He's a shitty cop.
Yeah, he says, I thought I would die valiantly in duty, not get crushed under tons of water like a common fish. And, like, I wrote in my notes, dude, fish don't get crushed. Have any of you people even seen a fish? And then I wrote, spoke too soon, Dave corrects him.
Yep.
Yep. Dave's like, the writers aren't dumb. This character is dumb.
Yeah. I do like Finn a lot.
Yeah.
So Arete says that they have a contingency plan, and it's up to Lauren, who is at the remote force field generator, which they want to deactivate for some reason. It turns out it's because Arete didn't give the all-clear. Deactivating the shield causes the Leviathan to output pheromones, which, if you don't know what that means, it means the fish are going to want to get real freaky with us.
Yep. And I really liked this bit because they split the party in the second dungeon, but the second party didn't get to do anything. But you actually get a fight without Alyssa's overpowered as shit water attacks, and I really enjoyed it.
Tight.
Yeah. But all these next mobs are weak to fire, which Chon has.
Yep.
So that helps. So we have to deactivate the things, but we're also going to have to deal with apparently ghost fish.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what this game is anymore.
It's a JRPG. If you were concerned up until now you know for real that it's a JRPG.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, for me earlier, I've been looking at my characters' abilities, and one of the characters I got a new ability. No, that's not it. I've been looking through my status effects because I forgot what some of them did. I was like, what does Rust do? So I was looking through the tutorials, and one of them is one of the status effects. I forget what it's called, but it's like, oh, it only affects spectral enemies, and I was like, oh, that's a cool status effect that like Sean has or somebody has, but it only affects spectral or has an extra damage against spectral enemies. Well, I don't have any of those yet. And then I get to this dungeon and I'm like, there it is.
Yeah.
That happened at some point.
Yep.
So after we deactivate the first generator, we run into a big ghost fish that we have to fight, and then there's a ghost dragon eel thing after deactivating the second generator. So we defeat that.
Yeah, neither fight was really difficult. The only fight that really stuck out to me this week was the giant robot fight that we already talked about. The rest of them kind of just, you punch them a lot, which is fine. Like, not everyone has to knock them out of the park.
How was it on almost the hardest mode, Maddie?
Unlike last week, which had some real battles that were making me think a big thonk, I didn't wipe once in this week, and don't think I really came close to it. The game got a lot easier. I might even bump up the difficulty. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
But I don't like the idea of having to change it myself. It's like I think that one too big a difficulty, it should have a nice curve on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like I started off on hard. It's easy now, but maybe the curve will come back around later. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I do like the battle system enough that if it keeps being this easy, I might actually bump it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So Lauren finishes deactivating everything, so we run away, and then we get a cutscene of a big fish thing coming to fuck Steel's ship.
Hell yeah.
Literally, this turns the game to an R rating.
Titty in my hand. Hell yeah. It's kiss your neck. Oh, I fucked it up.
It's okay.
So we board on Steel's ship while he's distracted by a seriously horny fish.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah.
Is it also a gay fish?
Yes.
He likes fish sticks. All right.
I need to stop referencing South Park. Look, I'm sorry. They made 3 good jokes, okay? And I'm going to reference the 3 good jokes that were made on that show.
Yeah. They had a golden period, and unlike Simpsons, it is not the early stuff that's golden. It's
the
middle 4 seasons of South Park are really good. And
yeah.
That's it.
I just love Kanye, frankly.
Yeah.
It's not South Park I like, it's Kanye that I like.
Which is just as bad, and you should stop.
Yeah, please. So there's a soldier who tells us that Steele's abandoned the ship, so he tells us about the self-destruct sequence, and a surprise for anyone who tries to stop it. Oh boy, I love surprises!
Yay!
Yeah, surprise! Hacking the computer will open a release lock on something. I hope it's a pony.
It's probably a pony.
I wrote later, update, does not appear to be a pony. Dave agrees to hack the computer, and we get in position to get our special surprise that's definitely not a pony. Mm-hmm. And oh good, we're fighting a creature that was supposedly extinct. Not sure how I feel about wiping out the last remaining member of a species, but
I we should not kill it. Oh well.
Yeah. I consider myself an environmentalist. I don't feel comfortable with this, but okay. So we kill it, and then we get another cutscene of that fish just really giving it to Steel's ship.
Yeah.
Boy, that fish is into it. Yeah, our ship. That fish is super into it. And then we take off into space.
Yeah, and that's where we stopped for the week.
Well, there was a couple other things that came up before we could save.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
So Enzo apparently decided it was too dangerous to meet with us because of the API. So we make the decision to head to Romu to learn about Enzo, and then we will sneak into his mansion. And that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
I had a kid named Oh, I guess I shouldn't share my students' name. Who cares?
Yeah.
No one's listening to this thing.
You should, as the producer of the show, you should.
No, I'm not going to. But the kid's first name was Enzo.
Yeah.
I won't say the last name.
His last name was Matrix. Enzo
Matrix,
is,
yeah. But anyway, but because it sounds so similar to Ezio from like fucking Assassin's Creed, every time I read my kid Enzo's name, I was like, Enzo, like Enzo Rigatoni. So that's what I'm thinking about when I see this. I just think about that. It's very Italian. I don't even know the kid's last name. I never met with the kid.
Nice, but
they were assigned, and then I didn't tutor them.
Let's listen to some more awesome music from this week's playthrough, and then we will talk about our memorable moments.
Oh yeah, bitch.
Eli, you almost never get to go first, so what do you got?
So I just have a few screenshots here. There's a cleaning robot, or no, there's a robot outside of an empty warehouse that you talk to, and he says, "Positronic brain the size of a space plum, and I'm stuck peddling real estate. Where did I go wrong?" Now, this is clearly a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. However, what the fuck is a space plum and how big is it? Because if you don't tell me that information, I can only imagine in my mind a regular plum, and they're not very big.
Yeah.
Again, with this game's world building being literally jokes, and that's the only world building there is.
Yeah. And it's like that brings up one that I had in the Millennium Fair, where which is the name of the fair that they're copying from Chrono Trigger, by the way, Eli. I know that it's called the Freedom Festival.
It's not actually called that.
Yeah. Okay. But in the Freedom Festival, you can buy like brog legs and tepid glorsh or whatever, and like those aren't real words. That doesn't make it funny.
No.
And so it's just like you have to use real words, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves in sci-fi is when somebody is saying. So, like, they're being Sandy Cheeks, right? And they're not saying, "Oh, I'm moving faster than a jackrabbit on a hot tin roof in the middle of August." They are saying, "I'm faster than a glorp hound on a subterranean ginkum flop on the middle of Joopy Plop," or whatever. And it's like, whatever. I don't know what that means. And that's like sci-fi loves to do that all the time, and
because I'm like, I want to know what a jinky flop is. I want to know what a juper duper is.
Tell me what these things are so that I understand the reference.
Yeah. Does this conversation bring up the Codex in Mass Effect, and I can go and read about the varied history of the jinky plops? Because that's what I need.
Or not even that, but like it could at least be a little bit of foreshadowing, and maybe a jinky plop shows up later as like a rancor or something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alas.
But yeah.
So then the next screenshot that I have is someone in the club saying, "I have such a good spot here that I don't want to leave and risk someone taking it." And it's like, there's like half a dozen people here. Your spot's going to be fine. It's really not that full. And then there's a woman at the bar who says, "I ordered some milk. I regret not specifying the species." And I thought that was pretty funny. Other than that, I don't really have anything.
All right. What about you, Madeline?
Let's find out.
I did really like Dave correcting Finn about the fish thing. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Another one that I low-key didn't like. Not to be too complete. The thing is, I'm enjoying picking apart my issues with this game. It's like I'm not dunking. It's like it's interesting to think about.
Yeah.
And Gehenna, there's a robot who goes, he keeps cleaning. He's like his animation is that he's always cleaning, and the cleaning robot goes, "Additional cleaning producing no gains in cleanliness. Must continue cleaning. Curse you, programming." And like, okay, that's a pretty funny joke. They're in a shitty alley, and he keeps cleaning because A, that's the animation that he has as a sprite, and B, the joke that the alley is so clean that it never gets clean. But the curse you programming, it's just like making it so like a robot wouldn't say curse you programming. And I realized, this game's writing is aughts webcomic.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's webcomic.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
It's like the jokes are either references or they're like a certain kind of joke. You know what I mean? Webcomic jokes. Anyway, let's see what else. Where is it?
I have one on deck.
Yeah, you go on.
So in Gehenna, there's this cat, and you go to talk to it, and Dave is like, "Oh, what a cute little kitty! It reminds me of my old pet Patches. Patches was brown and gray, though." And then the cat goes, "Foolish human! Ours is an ancient and proud race. We are nobody's pet."
I did that one.
It's such a low-hanging fruit, but I loved it so much.
In the bar, there's actually a really good. This is exactly my kind of NPC. You're in a bar and there's a table and there's these two NPCs at it, and you talk to the man and he goes, "My date." They're across the table from each other. You talk to the man and he goes, "My date." I hate to judge her based on the first impression, but she's a little artsy. She's hip and cool. She's just like all those girls who ignored me all through high school. I don't think the date's going well, but maybe we'll make it to the second act. And then you talk to the girl and she goes, "Oh, my date? Well, I don't want to judge, but he's a bit annoying and overdressed. He's got the kind of vibe that says, 'Look at me, I'm stressed.'" But that's just a first impression. I could be totally wrong. In fact, I hope I'm totally wrong. And I'm like, that's cute. Like, right? It's funny. Like, at first it's like sad. Like, he thinks she's awesome and she thinks he's not that great. But she's like,
"But I really enjoy his company." Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, it's all right. We'll see how it goes." I'm like, that's really cute.
Yeah.
Also, go ahead.
One more. Also, in the world of jokes that are, I guess, funny, but also I hate the world building, you talk to a guy and he goes, at the concert, and he goes, "Digital mind slug recordings will never overtake the experience of actually being in a VR simulation of a concert." And then Alyssa goes, "What about actually being at a concert? You're literally sitting in a music venue right now." And the guy goes, "Listen to a live performance. You must be one of those Luddites I've heard about." So, like, the joke is there. Like, nowadays we say that, oh, a CD can't compare to a concert, and this guy's saying, the mind slug recording is the kids these days, right? But on the other hand, it's like, you can't just make up that you have mind slugs.
Right. So
I feel like half of this is basically, okay, so in the video game that I made, like, half of the jokes are kind of lampshady this. Not half the jokes, but occasionally. And occasionally the narrator literally goes, it's like, "You get on your cycle to ride to the place. There's space cycles, though, because it's the future." And, like, that was a joke we made one time, and we intentionally lampshaded the joke. And this is, like, actually half the jokes of this game.
Yeah.
Speaking of jokes that I have spoken ill of, but I actually enjoy, they have a good Chrono Trigger reference, finally, in this chapter. There's a guy getting plastered on soup in the bar, and it's fucking great, because, in case you don't know, Eli, because you don't, because you haven't made it, at the Millennium Fair in Chrono Trigger, at the very beginning, so it's not a spoiler, there's a sake drinking contest, except this was Nintendo of America in the 90s, so it was a soup drinking contest. So this guy getting plastered on soup is a reference to Chrono Trigger, and soup being a stand-in for beer, and it's great.
I saw that guy and I was like, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
That's cute.
I even avoided the Game Grumps Chrono Trigger stream because I was like, no, I have to remain spoiler free.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be good. Like, as much as I want to do Pokemon come 3 games from now, I think we're going to end up doing Chrono Trigger. I think I'm itching to play it on the DS to experience that one. Eli, I think you should play the original translation if you can, the Super NES.
Totally should. Yeah.
But, like, I'm itching to play it on the DS, so I'm like, yeah, we have to get this out of Eli's system. It's going to be Eli's new favorite game, so we got to do it.
Here's a moment that I actually really, really like. Again, legit good writing here. Well, good, I don't know, whatever. When you're in the Millennium Fair, you talk to a robot, and all he says is, "Beep, beep, cleaning is so fun. Beep, beep, cleaning is so fun." I'm like, yeah. Hell yeah, you go, robot.
You go, cleaning bot.
Yeah, I'm glad you're living your life, man.
They programmed you to be happy, and it makes me happy.
Exactly. Why would you program a robot to not be happy? That's just cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one that I screenshotted, but I didn't screenshot it to be memorable moment. I thought it would end up being a plot, and it wasn't. It's just them making a joke, because that's what they do here, is their jokes are indistinguishable from their plot. But there's a video game station up at the Millennium Fair, and you talk to one of them, and she goes, what if this hacking simulator that I thought was a game was actually in real life? I'd be in so much trouble. And I'm like, oh, is this like some like covert ops? The API is like putting out games, making people want to do stuff because it's the cyberpunk future. But no, it was just a jokey reference to Ender's Game. So
yeah,
there you go.
Also, that literally right next to that person, there's a balloon vendor, and Alyssa's like, I always want to get a balloon, but I always get worried that I'll let go of it and it'll fly away. And I'm like, why? Have you played Chrono Trigger? Is that why you're thinking that would happen to you? Like,
yeah, there are a bajillion Chrono Trigger references this week because they go to Chrono Trigger Plaza. Oh, there's one that I don't think I got a screenshot of, but I did. So it's great. So it's when the guy is getting wrongfully arrested, and you have that little investigation side quest thing. If you talk to one of the people, it's like, look at that over there. It's called the Freedom Festival, not the Police State Festival. Sheesh.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's good. I like that.
2 more, and then I'm done. Actually, one of them is a tip, in case you ever... Oh, wait. You wouldn't go back to Astrea HQ because it blew up. Well,
Yeah.
Yep.
Did y'all get the satchel?
Which one?
There's
think
more than one
so.
satchel.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry. No, the satchel upgrade.
Oh, yes, where it gave me an extra item slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, cool. I was going to share it as a tip, and then I realized, oh, wait, if y'all didn't get it, it's too late.
Okay, a little late, yeah.
And then, secondly, I actually like how a couple different people in... Not Arete, in Arania, in
Arenu?
Vriska, whatever. In the underwater base, a couple of them are like, yeah, you were API like 2 days ago, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't trust you at all. And I'm like, yeah, these people have the right idea. Like these people definitely need to have, as is a common thread in JRPGs, as we've mentioned before, these people really need better OPSEC.
Yeah.
We definitely were fighting for the bad guys, like, yesterday. So they really should be like, maybe we don't trust you with every single thing. Oh, well.
Yeah. My last one is, so Dave has iPads, that's his weapon type, and one of them that you can get this chapter is called a love pad, and its flavor text is, can love bloom on a digital device?
Yes, Metal Gear Solid reference, yeah.
Yeah, and it's great, and I loved it.
There it is.
See, if all of their references were just in their flavor text, that would be great for the game. Like, I love all of, like, referencey flavor text stuff. It's so good.
But this is, like, references the game.
Yeah, it's everywhere. But, again, the game is really good. We are not dogging on the game. We just want it to be confident in itself.
The thing about this game is that the way that it is so obviously on purpose.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know? It's not incompetence. It's like, no, y'all wanted the game to be like this. Yeah. I don't think it was the right call, but you clearly know what you're doing. Next time, try doing something different. Yeah. That's my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels, like, very polished and put together. Apparently, when it came out, it was buggy as shit, and we're thankfully playing it so far in the future. But it's still polished, and lots of love was put into this. And I think you all had great ideas, and I think you should just lean on those ideas and not have to just ride around them all the time.
It's like when the teacher in those problematic movies rolls into the underprivileged school, and there's the kid there who is like the lowest performing kid in the whole school, and he's clearly an actual genius, and the teacher can see the potential in him, but he just doesn't believe in himself, right? So then Robin Williams or whatever the fuck has to give like a motivational speech, you know, saying that, you know, it's like a tough love speech. He's like, actually, fuck you. Actually, you're doing this to yourself. Actually, you're undercutting yourself. You're you're sabotaging yourself because you're scared to love, even though really it's probably because of lots of structural elements, and you really shouldn't be victim blaming because he probably just doesn't have enough time with his family because of poverty. But we're not going to address that problem.
That's
anyway,
next week. So Maddie forgot to remind me, but by saying that story, she actually did remind me. I had a really good analogy for what this game feels like. And
that I specifically told you should share. Yes, so please do. So
all three of us on the podcast have probably experienced this. But being a young man in high school, everyone tells you that girls love a sense of humor, and confidence is key. So you take those two things, but you have a deep-seated self-loathing. So you don't think that you're actually as good as your confidence is. So you double on extra of the humor, and it all becomes self-deprecating. So you go around and you're constantly saying like, yeah, but because I'm a garbage person, and all of these things like taking the own piss out of yourself, instead of just actually being confident and going up and just being like, hey, Lauren, you're really, really, really cute. We should go out sometime. Instead, you just sit there and like joke around and hope for things to be better. And that's kind of what this game feels like. It's like, oh, I'm making a JRPG, but that's really hard. So at the very least, I'll have a funny game, because if you can't make it good, make it funny. But they also can make it good. The game is good.
Also, they're not making it funny.
True. But yeah, it needs to be confident in itself. And I'm sure seeing what has grown from Breath of Death all the way to this one, their next game is going to be phenomenal. And I believe in them.
If their next game, they decided, like, if they somehow were to listen to this damn podcast, and the next game they were to like be like, you know what, let's do what Maddie and Sam keep saying. Let's literally have no jokes in our game and double down on the bullshit anime drama and the feelings and the schmaltz, and just live in it, actually go hard on it, not try to play it off like we're too cool. I bet the game would be fucking fantastic. I bet.
Yeah. I think it would blow the roof off the sucker.
Yeah.
But, yeah, on that sad-ish note.
Also, make it have a card-based battle system.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
Yeah, just literally reuse this battle system because it's great, but shuffle your... when you go to refresh, it shuffles your available things.
It's
That'll
chill.
Be great.
We believe in you. Do it.
It'll be good. But so that will do it for the week. If you liked what you heard, just let us know. You can leave us a rating and review on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts, which helps us find new listeners. Or you can drop us a line at rpgbookclub@gmail.com, or just check us out online at rpgbook.club, which has links to our Twitter, our Ko-Fi, our Discord, as well as blog articles about the games we've been playing. Like the Mega Man Battle Network one has now been up for a week, so everybody can check it out. It's real cool. I like that game a whole lot, and I talk about how much I like it, and it'll probably make you want to play one, because I sent it to Matt to proofread, and then he sent me back a screenshot like 2 hours later of him playing Mega Man because he was mad at me. But definitely head up the Ko-Fi if you have some money burning a hole in your pocket and you want us to play Halo, because we are like $20 away from playing Halo. So
please make us force Eli to play Halo.
Yes, which has
I've been avoiding it for years.
Watch this just awaken a monster in you, and you just become a Halo kid.
Oh my god, yes.
So we get there to talk about it. We're like, all right, what difficulty did everyone play it on? And Maddie's like, yeah, I played Legendary. I'm like, yeah, it's been a while for me, so I just played Veteran. What about you, Eli? And like, I played on double Legendary with all of the skulls. Plebs, get on my level.
Also, I played the entire series, and I read all the books. Here are my fan theories. And here's another copy of my fan theories in case you throw away the first one.
If that happened, it, like, I don't know, assume I've been replaced by a doppelganger at that point. Because
the good Eli is in the lodge and can't leave.
Yeah, exactly. How's Annie? How's Lavitz?
But Yeah, so reminder, if you have supported us on the Ko-Fi, to go and vote on our next game. That link will be up by the time that you hear it. It'll be up by the time that I get the files back from these guys, so you'll probably already have voted, but go vote. Griffin, I'm talking to you. You kept procrastinating and you missed the last one, so make sure you go vote.
Damn it, Griffin!
But yeah, as always, for RPG Book Club, I have been Sam Allman.
I'm Elias Sailor Eli Warren.
I'm Maddie.
And toodaloo, folks.
Bye, love you.
Bye, everybody.
And I appreciate
You want to know something fun?
What?
I'm recording now. On the task game DRO5.
You weren't recording before?
Apparently I actually wasn't.
Jesus H. Christ, Madeline.
What? No, I was recording the whole thing on Ocean Audio. It's fine. So we just have backup for the back half of this episode. I don't know how to use the damn thing.
You gave me a heart attack.
I'm sorry. I should have said, for the record, don't worry. Don't panic.
If I would have had to start this whole thing over again, I would have been so upset.
It turns out the recording light that was going beep, beep, beep is supposed to go beep.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, because we had a test cam back in the day, and I forgot what it did.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. We're fine. We're fine. Let's keep going.
Okay, great.